far all the time. Welcome back. Episode 50 of 2025 with your favorite podcast, More Than the Title. Episode 50.
Damn.
Ooh, I like that.
50 already?
50 already, halfway through the year. Positive. We doing great, y'all.
You know what that means?
What's up?
We working.
We working. 150 episodes in 18 months.
Yeah, that's crazy.
150 episodes
we did
in
100
18
episodes
months.
last year.
That's crazy. When you put it in context, like,
that's fine.
That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But you already know, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a great episode. First of all, it's a special episode. It's also my birthday special episode.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be out, but you're gonna see this and we're gonna rock. So I'm Jarrett, Chief Revenue Officer at Outside the Box Digital. And you know I got my brother, my brethren, your favorite CEO, Chadeo's in the building. What's good?
Listen, man, the shoulders is already shouldering. I'm feeling good. Listen, man, you know it's one of our favorite days.
Pod day.
You know what I'm saying? And listen, this is an extra special episode because not only are we, for my cousin's birthday, we love to celebrate life, but once again, we are in the community. We tell you that we don't talk it, we walk it, right? We're in a Black-owned business in the community, shooting this live. So when we lead into the G&T and we talk about grateful and thankful, we talk about your network is your net worth. The ability to be able to call a business owner, say, we want to shoot in your spot, we want to help promote your spot, and they say, come on down. That's what we're talking about, right? That is the power of what we're doing in the community, responding to it. So G&T for that, grateful and thankful.
Yeah.
We in the spot. We in the hood.
We in the hood. We in PC, baby.
PC, baby.
Big Bronx, West Side.
Not too far from the couch.
Not too far from the couch.
You're on the second couch, not too far from the other couch.
Come on, man. That's
And
what
listen, and you know how we like to do this, man. It's a lot of testosterone. It's a lot of testosterone on this show. He did. So there it is. We got the balance in the building. Calm us down, not dead.
Not dead.
Like you already said, it's part. They did a whole thing before they were supposed to introduce me. They did a whole spiel. Was not included in it, but that's okay.
You included in everything. You are. You know I love
I love y'all. But yeah, it's pod day. It's a great day. We got an amazing, gorgeous guest. If y'all didn't even know that. Stunning.
She all right.
Thank you, John.
I wasn't looking.
Can't take them nowhere, but I take them everywhere.
But I like that.
I like that. Oh,
that's a shirt. That's a shirt.
Right?
That's merchandise.
No, we merching that. I like that.
All right, clock that in.
Yeah.
Let's introduce our amazing guest.
Well, she said amazing, so I don't have to say phenomenal. Because she said amazing, so you already know we're gonna have an amazing show with an amazing guest. There it is.
So let's give it a proper intro. I got her on the phone. Usually I don't see me on the phone, but let's give it a real, man.
Okay.
From the moment she's touched the piano at the age of 5, clear that music wasn't just something she did, she was born into, right? She's a part of a family of Caribbean musicians. Her journey started early, singing in a quartet with her parents and brother, opening for her father's concerts at the age of 6. By 9, she was already moving hearts in churches and schools with a voice that made people stop and listen. Her gift, and it only grew from classical training, gospel competitions to earning a music degree. She made a mark in the industry, and her path has been anything but ordinary, right? She recorded the national song of Montserrat, sung the national anthem at the Brooklyn Nets over 20 times, worked with legends like Kanye West, Patti LaBelle, Jada, and who also Patti LaBelle called her the future of music. Even though life's hardest moments, she's also went through the ups and downs. She lost her mom, survived a car accident, lost her father, but she keeps on going and she's following her purpose and her passion, y'all. This is what we talk about. So you've seen her at the Net Games. Boom. You've seen her on BET. Boom. You've seen her on the Tube. You're going to see her at City Winery on the 30th. And now she's on your favorite podcast, More Than the Title. Let's introduce Ayanna Irish, y'all.
I need that in the morning.
So we'll send you the voice snippet of that for you.
Can I just say, goddamn?
That's
goddamn. At 5, you opening up a concert and shit at 6 years old.
6.
Yeah, my dad had us out there working.
I just want to say, like, we're talking about not only talent, but confident enough to say, this is my ability, and let's showcase this shit.
Yeah.
5 and 6 year olds, you still barely learning how to walk and talk.
Yeah, you still learning sight words.
Did you know you was 19 at 5? You like, oh no, this is it.
I don't think so. You know what? At that age, they made you do it.
Okay, got you.
Well, like cousin always likes to say, well, let's start there. Let's start in your younger years.
Right.
Walk us through what your younger years look like, the baby years, as early as you can remember when you started the music, and let's start there to start your journey.
Well, to start, my parents told me I came out screaming. Like they couldn't shut me up. You know,
They said songbird.
yeah, they
Zero.
were like, she came out like, you know, with this powerful voice. But I started piano at 5. And then, you know, I sang with my parents all the time. My dad was a musician. My mom was a musician.
Dope.
So we used to sing in a little quartet, you know. Then we moved to America. My parents didn't really know I sang because they really wanted me to be a pianist, a classical pianist. But then he heard me sing in church one Sunday. And then he just started crying. My dad just started crying. He was like, "Oh my God, you can sing!"
Oh, Pop's guy. He went Joe Jackson. Oh, he like, "No, we're gonna get you out."
And I was around like 8, 9 then.
Fire.
And that's when I started saying I wanted to be a singer.
I was gonna ask. I was gonna say, why the piano?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I understand instruments, but I was gonna say, like, were you gravitated towards the piano, or did your parents kind of just put a little baby piano in front of you, like?
Yeah, my dad.
Okay, there it is.
He had a music school in Montserrat.
Oh, fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was like, "You're gonna learn the piano, learn how to read music."
Right.
Yeah. So
I love it.
You recorded the national song for them too, right?
Yeah.
So my dad wrote the national anthem for my country, Montserrat.
Okay.
Wow.
And his friend Colin Fergus, they wrote the anthem, and I think it was just maybe like 5 years ago. My dad said, "Would you sing it?" And I said, "Sure." So now it's in the
Wow.
what do you call it? It's in the system as, you know, the main.
No, that's in
song
the
of
history books.
Yeah, it's in the
Well, so what is that? How does it like feel like when the kids go to school and they sing, like they learn it, they're gonna learn it from your voice.
Right.
So what does that feel like?
It feels amazing.
Wow.
And what's even crazy is my dad and his friend wrote this song 40 years ago. He said, well, he passed away 5 years ago. So he's like, I wrote this song 40 years ago.
Right.
You know, and that taught me, don't give up. You never know. Like, who knew?
Wow, that's 40
You know?
years.
Right.
I would love to know, like, how you write a national anthem? What gotta be on your? I got a strong 10, but damn.
I think the same way when we get presented with opportunities for jingles and things.
Yeah, like Coke Giant and all that.
To you and say, hey, we need a song or a piece of music that coincides with this, and you just create it.
Right.
I mean, remember, right? It might not be the first revision that makes it to that level, but you create something, submit it, and they be like, okay, let's tweak, and you just work on it. And I think, you know, when you get to a happy place where everybody's like, we like it, you run with it. But it doesn't mean it's going to take off. See, that's the key. You don't know it's going to take off, right? So you just create something that's like as any artist, you create something that you love,
right?
That's super dope for you, and then put it out into the world, and then see how the world responds.
You never know.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
So Montserrat, for everybody that doesn't know where Montserrat is, what the population is, what the lifestyle is growing up in there, can you just kind of, you know, dive into that a little bit?
So Montserrat is a really tiny island in the Caribbean.
Okay.
We were pretty much like non-existent back in the day. Like you'd look on the map and we'd be like a little dot
on
the map. But it's really small. We had a volcano. So it used to be maybe around 20,000 people. Now it's like maybe 5,000 people.
No,
I'm rounding up the number.
Because of the volcano?
Yeah, so a lot of people had to move, you know, off the island to live in England.
Wow.
A lot of them are in England. But
wow.
But a lot of people like Stevie Wonder, Sting, all these people used to record there.
Okay.
It was like a little secret paradise, and people loved going there to record. And Sting has a documentary actually on it.
Yeah. So yeah, culture-wise, like what was it like growing up there? Like when did you make that transition over to the US?
So it was really good growing up there. Okay. No, that was great.
It was great.
I mean, from 1 to 5. I just want to hear from 1 to 5. What did you do?
This is my moment. Right. No, but
with the beach, I love it.
They used to tease me because of my complexion. Yeah, the kids. When I was
really? No. So you got to walk.
That's part of the story.
So is the island normally like more dark complected people?
Back then.
Okay.
Not now. Now it's like a variety of.
But when you grew up, it wasn't very many fair skin to light skin.
I mean, even my family used to make fun of me.
Okay, I didn't know.
Not like my dad, like my aunts. It's like white. They used to call me white lady.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's deep. Yeah, we need to hear that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But it was so much fun growing up there. Like that's where I learned piano. That's where I learned music. I used to, you know, go to my dad's rehearsals. He had a choir there, and that's where I learned harmonies and stuff like that. I had a great time in Montserrat. The weather's gorgeous. Beach every day. I mean, it's a lovely island. I think you guys should go visit. You guys should go visit one year.
I was shit.
No,
we're gonna go hard there. You gonna go on a tour with you?
I'm not going by myself because you ain't gonna get me kidnapped in no month. I'm holding up. Read it.
It's one of the safest islands. It's one of the safest islands.
That's what they all say till we get there.
Right. No. That's what they say about Jamaica on the pamphlet.
It was one love. Two saw one thug.
I actually was born in Jamaica.
Okay.
Really? I was raised in Montserrat, but yeah. But we're not from Jamaica. I left when I was 1 year old. So I don't really know much about Jamaica, but y'all are funny.
Wait a minute. That's interesting. That's interesting. So you were born in Jamaica, but you don't consider yourself Jamaican.
I wasn't raised in Jamaica. Then I lived in Santo Domingo, which is DR.
Yeah.
I lived there for a few years. So I used
this
to
is all between 1 to 5?
Between 1 to like 7.
Oh, okay. Wow.
My dad traveled a lot.
Got you. Yeah.
Right. Super dope. A lot of experiences.
No, see, when we talk about what's the word I'm looking for?
I was saying, called a brain freeze?
Introducing culture to children at a young age when they're a sponge. You don't realize that how much that opens their mind and
facts.
For you to be 2, 3 different countries before the age of 4, we can say, watch this. How many dudes down the block ain't never been out the Bronx?
We go outside right now. Never been off this block.
Never been out the borough. And you've been to 3 countries under 4 years old. You see the difference? But then you start looking at what you've accomplished, and then you go, well, do you see what the exposure? You know what I mean? It opens those doors and it opens your mind to like, what is life really about? What could I do? What could I be? What's the possibilities? You know what I mean?
But let's talk about the culture shock when you came to the States. Like, what was that like? Now you're like 8, 9 years old. You kind of know what's going on. Like, coming here, what was that experience like?
It was exciting. We got on a plane. You know, my dad came here before, and he made sure he paved the way for us to get here because it's not that easy. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So he got us here. I don't remember how, but we were so excited. I think for the first time when I got off the plane, I saw snow for the first time. I never saw snow.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. But we lived in the Bronx.
You heard she's from the Bronx.
And I remember when we were walking down the block, and for the first time, like, we saw a dead body.
No, you was in South Bronx.
Yeah. You definitely was in South Bronx.
You was about Mitchell Jackson.
So it didn't seem like anything to us. We were just like, what's that? You know, so it was very interesting.
And what age was this?
We came here when I was 9. Yeah.
3 countries. She plays the piano, she sings, and sees her first dead body. Book.
I went from snow and the brother go. I'm like, what are we doing?
This is the story.
That is a hell of a story.
Like, listen to this already. Ladies and gentlemen,
that's crazy. We 10 minutes in.
That Ayanna book has already been started here on More Than the Title.
You're right.
I'm telling you right now, you heard it here first, right?
You're right.
The biopic coming soon.
You're right.
Ooh, who would you have play you in a biopic? That's a fun question.
That is a fun question.
I don't know yet. No, I don't know.
Someone.
Angie Jolie. Come on. Why not? She can sing and kick ass.
I never thought about it, but that's something to think about.
Yeah. When we win, because we're gonna do the More Than the Title. But so let's keep it there. We're gonna do the More Than the Title biopic. Who would you have play you? That I want to know. That. Like, who would be a dope?
Somebody right now. I'm trying to think. I don't know who would be. I'm trying to think of somebody. Son. Yeah, I'm shit. O'Shea. No, he's right now. I can see O'Shea Jackson. I can see O'Shea playing it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. See O'Shea playing you. Okay, I can see that. What about you? What do you think?
For me, I don't know. I love a good Storm Reed.
Storm Reed.
Yeah, she was okay, what have you got? I'm trying to see what can I relate to with who you've sadly seen.
Is she a movie star?
She was in that movie, the Quantum Time. Now I'm gonna have to look it up. My phone's recording. Okay. Pull up your phone, look up Storm Reed so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
She played Zendaya.
I know he's one.
Yeah, she was in Why can I not remember the show?
I have no clue story. I'm trying to rock with you.
You gonna see? You gonna exactly?
American actress. She doesn't look familiar.
Yeah, they not me. It's okay.
You know what?
I see the resemblance. No. Now I can see the resemblance.
She's been in a lot. She's been in a
lot. Yes. Now this picture,
this picture, whatever this is, I've seen this. What other movie is this?
I don't know.
All About Us?
Amazing.
I don't know. She's in The Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
There we go.
The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Yes. And I got the video game.
Yeah, that's dope.
Fire.
Okay, and you?
I don't know. I think I like the dude that played Puffy. I think he's pretty funny.
You type of nigga to go old school. You don't get Blair Underwood or somebody. Blair Underwood.
The dude that played Puffy in the Biggie biopic. I like the dude, the black dude. I think
no, not Mackie.
No, that's not Mackie. What's his name?
Yeah, that's not his name.
Luke something.
We acting like we don't have phones to look that up.
Derek Luke.
I think Derek Luke can play a good. You don't think so?
I can see it.
Derek Luke, you don't think so?
Dave in the background.
Dave, what you think, Dave?
Mr. Commodore.
Never. Hey, shout out to Mr. Commodore. No disrespect, but all disrespect.
Yeah, Ray. Yeah, Ray.
I get Ray in. Yo, Ray can play shit.
You know, if you give Ray the right shade, your shade.
Yeah.
I can see the Ray. I can see the Ray.
Mr. Commodore. Fresh out, right. Going back.
You heard it first.
So we from the Bronx. So I want to know like what school you went, high school, all that. Like tell us about growing up. Like you saw the dead body. I'm assuming you down there by Jackson or something. I'm assuming you over there. You went to Gompers. Oh, you went to Stevenson?
Nope.
If I tell too much, then I'm telling too much. But,
No.
Okay.
Well, I was just kidding.
I'm from the Bronx.
I ain't mad at that.
Shit, I love. So okay. Now, so what's the focus shift now? We're in Montserrat. We are studying music. You come to the United States. Is there a focus shift now? Because there's a culture shift. Right?
Yeah.
Things are done here differently.
Yeah.
There's the same type of opportunities and more. So now is it okay? Let's double down on the piano. We're gonna follow music, or are we gonna like pivot, keep music, but get like a fallback plan? Because a lot of parents say, "Oh, you're not gonna make money in music. Let's get a degree that makes sense just in case." What is that? What is that conversation like now?
So my dad, when we came here, my dad used to take us to piano lessons.
Still with the piano.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's kind of before he knew I sang. Okay. And so he just kept taking us to piano lessons. And then I started singing and I was like, Dad, I want to sing. So I started going to voice lessons. I started doing that. And then I just started training. And then my dad was like, okay, you want to be a singer? Okay. He loved it, Okay. But then, when I got to college, he was like, I don't want you to major in music because you do that.
See,
gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah.
So then I became a psychology major. That's what I did in college.
See,
no.
Okay.
Yeah. But then in my last year, I couldn't pass this math class.
Okay.
And I was like, that's it for that degree. I'm not doing psychology. So I switched my major back to music. I was like, we're gonna find something that does not have to do with math, pre-calculus to be specific.
Oh girl, I don't blame you. I hate pre-calculus. Because you're not allowed to use a calculator, but the name of the course is calculator. I'm just saying. Because
my oldest son, he's in college right now. And he showed me his schedule. And I'm like, you took 4 math classes? He's like, no, I only took 2. I said, this science class, physics, that's math.
That's a fact.
And then you took this other science class, that's math on top of math.
Yeah.
So he was like, for real, I said, you just took 4 math classes. Good luck.
Right.
You better get you a T1000, the TI-83, the Texas Instruments, you better get a good one. You're going to need it.
I still got mine because that's one of the most expensive pieces of equipment you get.
We often talk about going into school with a passion. Initially, you're fresh out of high school, you got the ambition. I want to be this. They say you change your career choice 3 times in life. You have a career choice when you're a young child. Then when you get to college and stuff like that, as a young adult, you'll try something in your young adult years. And then like in your 30s, man, you'll change again into what will become your career path. So now you're in your early 20s. You're in school. You're doing music.
Early 20s. He does.
I know.
I love y'all.
I know better. You're in your early 20s. So now, like, walk us through, like, okay, you switched it. You're like, I'm back in music. What's the game plan now moving forward? Okay, the lessons are good. We know you can sing. We know you can do this. But now, what's the game plan towards what direction are we going with this thing?
So even though I was a psychology major, I never stopped doing music.
Right.
And then I used to teach, like, when I was like 13, I used to teach kids in an after-school program.
Okay.
I had to teach them like singing and dancing and stuff like that. And then I ended up like quitting that because talking to kids all the time, and it was in Brooklyn. And some of them follow me today, which is so crazy.
Dope.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Super dope.
It was kind of taking a toll on my voice, constant talking. So I ended up quitting that, and I was like, no, I'm going to just focus on my music. I never, right on my last year, my professors knew I was singing, and I would be failing my theory class, and he was like, I know you're going to be famous one day. Just keep coming to class. I'm gonna pass you. I know you're gonna pass me. We love theory. It's crazy. Theory is like math. Music theory is like math.
Cheaters.
Everything is math. The universal language is math.
Yeah.
Okay,
right. That's a fact.
So in my last year of college, I ended up getting my first record deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. What was that process like? Word.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just one thing that makes me happy right now. Talk to me. Okay.
Yeah. So while I was in, I lost my mom actually, and then I just started singing in different open mics throughout the city, and then word started getting around, and then I met someone who said, "Hey, I'm gonna take you to go get a deal. You don't need a demo. You don't need anything." So I never had a demo. I never had photos. Nothing.
Wow.
So,
wait a minute. So you're doing the open mics. Is your dad your manager?
So my dad did not want to manage me. He wanted me to find someone else to manage.
Yeah, but that's important to know because having a team is important, right? Having somebody that's a manager that's going to actually out there vouch for you while you're doing everything you need to do to make sure life is going right. Like, what was the team support?
Yeah.
Well, I ended up getting a friend of the family to manage me.
Okay.
He didn't really know the business.
Okay.
Listen, my dad was also a pastor, so he wasn't trying to like manage a secular.
Yeah.
He's like, if you do gospel now, but he supported me 100% regardless. But I didn't really have a big team.
Here's the thing. This is New York. You're not from New York.
Right.
In any area that you go to, the natives can tell if you're a native or not.
Right.
And you're a beautiful young woman. And most of these events are at night.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're at night.
Facts.
All of these open mics, they're at night. A lot of them are in lower Manhattan in these alleyway blocks that look like they're abandoned, right? Downstairs.
Warehouses, all type shit. Yeah.
So my thing is, being comfortable to not only go there, but get out at 2-3 in the morning by yourself.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying. Like, did your dad go with you, or who did you have to protect you to even just be there with you to be like, because presence is everything. If they see a woman by themselves, not to say like always something's gonna happen, but the perception is different when it's a man or somebody with you of how somebody will react to you.
Right.
So that's what we're saying. Like, who's your team? Did you have anybody with you in these late night, early mornings when you're doing these?
I definitely did.
Okay, there
so
we go.
The family friend, like, my dad was like, go with my daughter,
Right, there we go.
Wherever she goes or whatever. And he also was just out of college, I think. And I think my dad gave him like a monthly stipend.
Okay.
Oh, your dad giving out money?
He said he hired you a bodyguard.
Dad, go your show. I'm ready.
But I'm not gonna lie, like it kept me out of a lot of stuff.
That was
like
bad.
What happened? What happened?
No. That nigga's a fool.
Yeah.
By the way,
He's a fool. He's a fool.
He's acting up.
No.
This is a regular day.
No, we don't know. We didn't start yet.
This is lightweight.
Right.
This is warming up.
Yeah.
Give him like 10 more minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
No, but that, like I said, we did music for a long time.
Facts.
We've done the open mics.
Oh.
We've done the showcases after showcases after showcases. So we speak from experience.
Yes.
Yeah, some of them are in the Bronx, but a lot of them, the more prominent ones, are in Lower Manhattan.
Yes.
Right. The Bowery streets, right? The Canal streets, the Delancey streets, where we're going into these buildings and we're like, is this shit even open? You know what I mean? And even as guys, we feel this way.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And like I said,
and 10, 15 deep.
Right.
Right.
And then when you get there, you sign up, whatever. But then there's a list, a showcase.
Yeah.
So you might not go number one.
You number 22. Yeah.
So again, you get there at 9. This shit goes to 3, 4 in the morning. Then you getting out. Pitch black. That's why we asked you that, because it's real.
Just to get heard by a few people.
Just to get heard by a few.
You know what I mean?
And that's if the people that came to support the other acts before you didn't leave when their person performed and left.
They always leave.
Right. They always leave.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
So how did you feel about that experience? The circuit, the open mics and the showcases. How did that make you feel, like doing those?
I loved it. Like I said, I had somebody with me all the time, so I didn't have to worry about,
the other stuff.
The other stuff.
Yeah.
And then, I started making a lot of friends in the music industry. So if I went, I knew somebody that would be there.
Gotcha.
And then I had a car, so I made sure I drove.
Yeah. And that makes sense.
Then Manhattan was kind of safer back then. But it was a little bit more safe. What I did back then, I wouldn't even do today.
No, that's a fact.
I just feel like it's different.
Message.
Yeah.
But it was really cool because there was so many other singers. But you had the thing where you're going to be last or whatever. But they used to invite me to come. And so what happens is the word travels. You got to come see this girl. So they would put you on at the time. People from the label or whatever.
Or in the middle as like a feature. Right.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool.
So what was one? You guys.
I want to. Other than the performing, I want to know about like the writing experience. Like really getting into like you behind closed doors making that music. What was the thought process as growing with your music?
So initially, I didn't know I was a writer. But one day I was watching a movie and I wrote my first song, and I was singing it and playing it on the piano in my house. And my dad was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, Dad, I just wrote this." He was like, "I'm gonna get it copywritten for you."
Message.
See,
you know what I mean?
So
it was just the belief in my father that my father had in me, that kept me going. My writing wasn't the greatest when I first.
No, of course, you got to go through it. You got to go through it as a writer.
I'm much better today, but that's
what suck before success.
Yeah. That support is what kept me going.
So I was going to ask you, what was one of your favorite showcases or open mics from back in the day that you remember? What's one that you were like, oh shit, this was the one? I was on fire. Did you use somebody's song? Which one?
Ron Grant had a night. I don't know if y'all know, he passed away.
That name sounds familiar.
But that night, there was Chaz and Wilson's and there was the Village Underground.
Okay. I remember Village Underground. I remember Village Underground. Right. Yeah, I remember Village Underground.
So I used to go to his. That was the spot to go to.
Where were you recording at the time? So you're writing the music in the house, but where are you actually doing your recording sessions? Were you going to like Quad and all the big studios that were out there, or did your father actually build you a studio at home so that you could have the luxury of just having something in house?
So when I got my first deal, the first thing I did was I bought studio
equipment. There you go.
Yeah. And so I had it in my bedroom. My first album was supposed to be called From the Bedroom because everything I created was in my bedroom.
Fire.
And then I learned how to use Pro Tools.
There you go.
I recorded my own vocals. Some of the songs that are on my Spotify, I recorded those vocals.
Fire.
But so I used to just be in there creating all the time. It was a lot of fun, actually.
So walk us through the deal. A guy approaches you and says, "You don't need nobody. Come with me." That's the craziest shit. I want to hear about this. Red flag. Wait a minute, go with you and I don't need nobody to come with me.
I don't need no bitches, nothing. I'm coming through.
At that time, it was no share your location. Go with you by myself. Just walk us through that. So this guy, walks up to you. Who is he? Does he introduce himself? Like, walk us through that whole him introducing the deal. Why'd you take it? What did it look like that?
So my first experience, his name is Dice. People know him. He was very heavy in the music industry around that time.
What's his name?
Dice, Sugar Dice.
Sugar Dice.
He came up with like Uptown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think they have like a little tour that's going to be going on with the
with the old Uptown. Uptown.
So
he met my dad. Anybody who wanted to work with me, I brought them home to meet my dad. Like he had to meet my dad.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
So I didn't believe him at first, no. We were like, okay, we don't need a demo. Ayanna, trust me. You don't need a demo. And he took me with a lawyer friend of his. They took me to Sylvia Rowan.
Oh, Sylvia. Stoney.
Yeah. He writes to Sylvia. What was that like when he took you to Sylvia? Like, did she was like sing on the spot? What did you sing? Like, what was that like?
Yeah. So when I walked in, at first, because they kind of teach you, you're supposed to be overly sexy when you go for these labels, but no, he was like, nope.
Be you.
Cover up.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
Sylvia Rome, she was just gorgeous.
Yeah.
She's a gorgeous woman, like great style. She was just sweet. And I wasn't nervous because she made me feel comfortable. And then the offices were always so extravagant. Like they had the big couches and tall windows. Yeah. And so I went in and he told me to sing. I think I sang I Will Always Love You. And Sylvia Rome was looking out her window. I'll never forget that visual. I was like, at first I was like, is she singing? You know what I mean? But no, she was chilling. She was like, you know, and that was it. I got signed that day.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. What made you choose that song? I'm just curious. What made you choose that song?
I always sing that song for some reason. I loved Whitney Houston. I love that song.
Oh,
and that song got me in a couple of rooms, you know, singing that song. That one and If Only You Knew by Patti LaBelle.
It's a big song.
Those are the majors.
Yeah.
You gotta do those. You gotta do those.
Have that in your back pocket. That's a major.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know, like those are heavy songs to sing.
Yeah.
I want to tell you how fortunate you are right off the bat. With us, with me and Cuzzo doing music for so long, I used to be in these offices with these CEOs, and for you to just have somebody walk you in and somebody to just be like, no, let's make it happen, is very rare.
You made a great impact. Yeah. You made an impression that was like, no, let's go. Yeah. Because if you know Sylvia Rome like that, you only get maybe 1 or 2 asks.
Right.
If that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And for me to use my ask when somebody like, I don't know your work ethic yet, I just saw you, I just know your talent. Like we don't have that relationship yet. So for him to go outside, you know what I mean, and do that is so real. There's not so many people like that.
Like he said, you only me and Cuzzo used to laugh a lot, right? Because when we was doing music and we were trying to go to the next level, and I was like, yo, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. And I used to be like, he's like, no, I want to do it this way. And I'm like, listen, I got one ask. Like, I hang out with these dudes, but they respect me because I don't ask. But if I'm going to bring you to them, it has to be right, or I'm not going to waste the ask.
Right.
So for him to bring you in that office,
there's a lot.
He knew that if he's bringing her in here, she has to be something special. So, you know, I commend you in just making that type of an impact, a first impression where somebody was willing to use their ask to walk you in.
Yeah, that's a blessing. You know what I mean? That is a blessing.
And then, so he walks you in, she talks to you, she makes you feel comfortable, she offers you this deal, and you say, okay, like, how does that work out? You didn't
brought the deal on the pot. You put the contract on the pot.
I would have been like, I need about 2 weeks to review this thing. Like, how, you know what I mean? What's this fine print? Like, how did that work out?
So we held on to it for a little while, not too long.
Okay.
Because we got asked to see Clive Davis.
Oh,
wow. So
fast tracking.
Fire. Yeah.
Fast tracking.
I've never told these stories, by the way.
Right. Exclusive.
Very exclusive. Yeah, never. Nobody knows these stories.
Right.
Just the people that, you know.
Right.
But so I got an opportunity to meet a producer. His name was Joshua Thompson. And I think his manager, Alan Molina, they were like, I went to meet him. We recorded like a song. No, did we record the song first? I sang for him. I played on the piano and I sang, and they were like, let's take her to Clive tomorrow. It was something like that.
Wow.
What? So now I always wanted, because I loved Whitney.
Right.
Yeah. I was like,
I know exactly what joint I'm gonna get over here. I was like, whoa, he gonna be like, Whitney.
So so that's how that happened. And then I sang for Clive. We went literally the next day. That's how quick it went.
Wow.
And then I sang for Clive. And then we told him that, hey, we have a deal on the table from Sylvia.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, well, record a couple of songs,
right,
and come back. But one thing Clive said that I never forgot was, once a record label is interested in you, they'll always be interested in you. That's what he said.
Ooh, message.
Message, right?
Yeah,
like, I never forgot he said that.
So, you gotta hit the messages.
Okay.
Yeah, but I sang I Will Always Love You for him, and they were like, well, that was brave. You're singing a Whitney song, for Clive.
I mean, that is
brave. Yeah, no.
Put that. Yeah. Definitely brave. Definitely brave.
Yeah. So to end the story, like my team ended up going with Sylvia, the deal. So we ended up signing with Sylvia.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And then rest is history.
Well, no, then you know how it works. You get on the label, and then it kind of fizzled out. So we got off that label, not with any bad intentions or anything like that. Kind of things weren't like panning out with my team. So we got off the label. I just ran into Sylvia like probably a couple of months ago. I was like, hey. She was like, you're still at it. So but yeah, and then I ended up signing a Ruckus Records.
Okay.
Ruckus.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, in hindsight, is there anything that you would have done differently looking at the deal? Because that, you know, there's a lot of young artists coming out. We want to give that game, that information. Like, what's something that you learned in hindsight that you would give to people?
Well, I have no regrets.
No, for sure.
But definitely when you're coming into the business, I would say, see, we were young, and the family member that was with me wasn't really a manager.
Right.
Yeah. You have to hustle.
So you don't know exactly how to handle deals, handle situations. So we both, you know, ambitious and everything, but there's a certain way you have to deal
with the business,
with the business part. So I would definitely say, get people who know the business, instead of using a family friend or your mom or your, you know what I mean? Get people that know the business.
I just want to add to that. Get people that know the business that you can trust.
That you can trust.
Well. That's all I want to add. That you can trust. There's a lot of motherfuckers that know the business that will.
But that's what's hard to find.
Right.
That's obvious. Needle in the haystack.
Yeah.
You shitting me?
That's the key. That's the key. You know what I mean? Getting people that you could actually trust. You know, because again, like I use us as an example because we went through this, right? We've done music a lot, and this is one of the things I kept hammering home. Like, yo, the music is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, I always told them, like, I'm one of your number one fans musically, but
you guys rapped? Or sang?
Yeah.
So you sound like you have a singing voice.
Nah.
I'm more
like Jada.
Listen, I've heard some of their tracks. They're
but
really?
Yeah. So Cuzzo rapped, you know. So, but I rap, but I like the back end of the production side more. So I've always built the studios. I rap, but I did the engineering. I did the mixing. I have all the Pro Tools. I got a full home studio in my house now. Full home studio recording booth. Every place that I've been, I've had a full studio there. And I used to record local artists and do their demos and mixtapes and stuff like that because I was learning from the label people. So I would go to Rough Rider Studios and sit in the studio in Yonkers and just listen and learn and watch. Or I would go to like this other studio, you know what I mean? And I would just sit there and listen and they would teach me. So I would then come to the hood and be like, yo, I know how to do this now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So instead of you going to pay $200 down here, give me $50 an hour.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll be your Huckleberry, but you know, and this is how we help each other to get the music out. But one of the biggest things that, you know, we used to talk about all the time was, yo, you got to understand the business part. The artist part is like this small. The business part is this.
Yes.
And if you don't get this right, you could be the best artist, best music. It doesn't matter. If this is wrong, everything is wrong. You know what I mean? And I understand that it's very difficult because I think that a lot of us initially, even with our parents and stuff, music is not like a career that people kind of like aspire to learn how to do. If that makes
sense. Most people,
like
we don't know people that's been successful. We can't touch somebody that's been successful. in that
that's what I'm saying.
I feel like it's interesting. It's like music is like a legacy industry. Like you've been born into it. It's very hard to break into it and learn into it.
I'm being honest. Like growing up, I didn't know nobody that did music. No. Right? Like who did music? You know what I'm saying? And then it's like not only who did music, but who did music that is actually going to teach us how to do music. Right? We listen to music. Our grandmothers, our mothers played music. But did we know anybody that did music, the business of music? And for me, it was like, no.
I know a lot of great creatives, like Sporty Thieves from right up the block.
Right.
They did no pigeons right in front of Mama crib. You know what I'm saying? Right there in front of Maisie's. Like
I grew up knowing DJs and engineers, but like
and the way I learned was the fact that my grandmother. So I'm from Forest Project, same project as Fat Joe, right?
Okay.
So his building is the one right behind mine. So everybody used to be in my grandmother's house. They used to call her Ma. So all the early pioneers of music, Curtis Bloner, they used to always be in my grandmother's house. So I used to watch them. So all the records and stuff like that, and I would learn that way. But then I got the book, The Business of Music.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people would laugh. It had a CD. You know, the books used to come with the CD. And they used to laugh like, bro, you gonna read that? And I'm like, absolutely. Because this is something that starts us in the right direction, right? Because I've gone into meetings, big meetings with artists, and when you get that one ask and the meeting goes, you go in, you perform, or you play the demo, And then the next question is, okay, how are we gonna make money together? Right? Now here's the business side.
And they're gonna be like, hey,
now,
yo.
Hey, yo. And that's exactly what happened.
Right.
So you walked in, for them to even invite you in there, they knew that you had talent already.
Right.
See, where's your manager? Where's your A&R? Who's handling you that understands business? We walked in, you got the invite. For you to get that invite, they've already heard the music 100 times. They already believe in the music. Now let's have the meeting to see the business. Do you understand the business? Do you understand promotion? Do you understand marketing? How are we going to make money together?
Right.
Yeah.
And I watch artists go in there and do what he just did. Right.
That's it. Just let me keep rapping.
So they'll rap, they'll play the demo. They're like, I love it. We love it, right? How we gonna make money together? Oh, but you ain't hear the new joint. And yo, and doing it. They'll listen and then be like, one or two things. Yo, go get that contract. You know what that contract is? That's the Jay Jerker nigga contract. We want you right now because now I know you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Right. So here comes. Yeah. Now you're new to the business. I start throwing acronyms at you. What you looking for? A pub deal? What you looking for? A distro deal? What you looking for? 50-50? What you looking for? 80-20?
Joint ventures and all that.
Right now, I'm throwing acronyms at you, vernacular, to see if you even know how to talk to me business wise. Once I realize that you're not picking up on the vernacular, you don't know. You fronting because you would know these basic terms of even how to start the negotiation.
Yeah.
Right. Then he's looking for you to have a binder. You should have a business plan binder. This is what we're looking for. I already have my in-home studio, so we're not looking for production costs because I have this. I'm looking for a distribution deal to pump this many units. We're willing to back this and put this in there, and then we can split it. Now,
and then you flip it on them. You're gonna help me break it into markets. And boom.
And now it's a different conversation. But then when you go, hey yo, then they go, we got you. Go get in that contract right now.
Get right now.
That's when you sign away 100% of your royalties forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And didn't realize you signed away all your royalties and all this, and you gave away your masters and all this, and they're gonna recoup that little 20,000-30,000 signing bonus that they gave you.
Yeah.
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, especially now, young people, they need to hear your story also to reinforce, listen, learn the business of any industry you want to get in that involves business and artistry. Because the artistry is dope, but the business.
Yeah.
This world is a capitalist, United States capitalistic society, capitalism all the way, right? If you don't understand business, you are going to fail.
Yeah.
And having a good lawyer. I learned that early on. So I always had a lawyer.
Right.
Look over my paperwork. And I have to say, like, my lawyer, Doug Davis, he was my second lawyer. Doug Davis, he was so amazing because I would bring him these contracts and he'll go, you read it.
Right.
Mark down what you don't understand.
Right.
Highlight what questions you have, and then come back to me and I'll answer all the questions.
That's great.
He taught me to read my contract.
Easy game.
Now, you know what I mean? How many lawyers is doing that?
How many lawyers
will do that? They're gonna say, no, come back, more hours, more billing.
Right.
That's real.
Right. And he gave it to me and he goes, and I think the contracts used to be like 100 pages. It used to be thick.
Of course.
Yeah.
And he goes, I know exactly what pages to go to. I don't need to read through all the fluff.
Everything
else is fluff. They're major pages you go through. And so I would go home, I'd go through it, and I literally read it, be highlighting, what does this mean? What's that? What does this mean? And he'll answer every question I had, on the contract. And then he'll tell me what he thinks. I don't know how I was so blessed to have such a great lawyer, but
that's love.
He saved me a lot of headaches.
Love.
He saved me and things that I wanted to do because you want it so badly.
Of course.
And you're like, but I want to. No, I'm telling you right now, this is not what you want.
Fire.
Right. I was gonna say what I'm hearing so far is a lot of God loving you.
I had godly parents.
Listen, power of prayer.
That's a fact.
Yes, I had a praying mom.
Yeah, that's the greatest weapon to have in your toolkit.
One of the biggest repetitive, destructive stories you always hear is people having lawyers, and the lawyer works for the label, which is a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
They give you a lawyer. Oh, take this lawyer. He's dope.
Yes.
But he works for us. Yeah. So he's not gonna do what your lawyer just did for you. He's gonna like, oh no, that's good. You ain't gonna get nothing better than that.
Right.
Because he's paid to say that.
Absolutely.
When really that's the Jay Jerkin contract.
Yeah.
So, you know, shout out to your lawyer for just once again, right? Who you can trust, being a part of the circle to teach you, not only work for you, but teach you how to do it on your own and what to look for.
Yeah,
dope. I love it.
And when you went to the new label, you went to Ruckus, right? Like, so how, we talk about relationships a lot. We talk about the one ask and all that. How are you navigating all of those relationships, right? Like, because if you're on the label, right now, I'm on the roster. I'm new to the roster. I gotta know who's the top dog on the roster. How do I collaborate with people? How do we navigate that? Like, what was that like?
So, you know, my manager at the time, who was a family friend, man, we used to just hustle. I used to walk through the streets with my piano. Like, he held the piano, like it was like 88 keys, and I had to stand, and I'd be in my little cute jeans and my heels, and we walk in and we're going to all these labels, and we were just knocking on doors, you know, just
doing that now. You get in the building. Right? Yeah. Getting past the security guard.
Right. You'd be right down the stairs. Some people. But I don't. When nothing at all, be at the bar, the cafe.
And you got some of these buildings be like, you can't even stand in the lobby. You gotta stand outside.
That's real shit.
Some people be like, you can't even be in the lobby. Like, you gotta stand outside the door. Yeah.
That's so funny. I used to put my piano on their desk.
Crazy.
And I was, you know,
I got you. Wait. I got you. I got my favorite piano that you would work with. I got my favorite. I want to see what you say for you.
I think. What you mean, keyboard or piano?
I'm sorry, the keyboard that you were walking around with, not the folk band.
Motif.
Okay, I'm a Triton guy.
Oh, okay.
I've never tried that. Okay, so why did you go Motif? And, you know, Motif.
Somebody said it was good at the time. I don't know. You know, and that's when I was starting my studio. They were like, the Motif is the, and I wanted 88 keys.
Weighted?
It was weighted.
Of course.
But that's not the one I carried around.
That's what I'm looking at. Because you know what I'm saying? You walked around with a weighted 88 keys.
No. I got the rolling.
Okay, got you.
Okay. But I like the weighted keys.
Yeah. Industry standard, the Korg.
Yeah.
The Korg.
Yeah.
And you know, the Triton Master.
Yeah.
You know, industry standard.
So you play?
Dabble.
Oh, nice.
I can play Tender Love.
You know,
I'm a visual artist. If you want a portrait, hit me up.
Okay. I just might.
It's
amazing.
The best supporter you can, like, you understand? Like, if he comes to me and say, Cuzzo, I want to rap, and I believe in him, I go, what do you need? If you don't have an engineer, then I'm gonna learn engineering. I have books. I taught myself. I would lock myself in the house after I go to the studios and read the books. I have all the Pro Tools books. They've been in my house. I have all the Pro Tools books. I have all the engineering books, the Triton books, and I would just read. So if he needed something, what you need? You need me to learn that? Then I would learn that.
That's nice.
And I would learn that. And then you need me to build a studio, because that's what we have to be for each other, right? Because we don't have anybody else.
Right.
Nobody's teaching us. Nobody's helping us. Nobody's funding us. So if we don't help each other, this goes nowhere.
This is it in real time. You saw we don't have a producer. Why you behind the board?
And let me make you laugh, which is funny because I'm surprised, because normally, especially with us being this close, his son would have been here behind the camera, or my son would have been here, because we actually, this is a family thing.
Right.
Yeah. So when you tell your story about your father, we directly relate. That's super dope.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ruckus now, new deal.
You're going around with the keyboard.
Right. Do we have to shelf, based on the contract, do we have to shelf the album because you made that music under the initial contract with Sylvia Rome? Do we have to make new music for Ruckus now? Or are you allowed to, when you release your contract, could you use that music that you made under that first deal to kind of go with the next deal? How did that work?
I didn't get to finish my album when I was with Sylvia Rome. I recorded a couple of songs, and it wasn't anything like I would say that, you know, I needed to fight for anything.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it really wasn't any bad blood or anything like that. I don't where they're like, no, you can't have this or you can't have that, you know. And then when I went to Ruckus, you know, that's when I got my lawyer Doug Davis, and then I went to Ruckus, and I loved it because I was the only girl. It was I think Talib Kweli, Mos Def, some other people, and I didn't really I got to meet Mos Def, but I didn't get to meet the other artists yet because I was so new. So there really weren't any issues, you know. I was out of my contract. You know, they didn't give me any problems at all, and I was able to start fresh with Ruckus, and then you know, Ruckus then got shut down.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So, but Raucous was great. Like, I loved Raucous. You know, even when the label was going down, they were like, listen, if you want, we can manage you. You know what I mean? Like, there was so much love.
Did
like,
buy them?
Something I can't remember.
No, I think it was Interscope.
Was it Interscope?
I think they had to get rid of all their artists, from what I remember.
I thought they got absorbed.
No, they had to let go of all the artists.
Okay.
And
because I know a lot of them combined. Remember, because they had each label had like offspring of the label, right? Like Universal had Island Universal, right? Def Jam had Def Jam South, right? Like that, right? But I know at one point they had to like start, you know, absorbing the smaller ones back into the parent company. So that's what I thought. Ruckus, got absorbed by somebody. Because they had a lot. They were independent for a while. But they had a good roster. Yeah, that's what I'm like. They shut down because they had a good roster, and they were the only ones that had that kind of talent at the time. If you think about who they had, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So okay,
I think they had to get rid of labels, I guess, and Raucous was one. Yeah, you know, but they let them keep the name. But whatever deal they worked out, they were like, listen,
Geffen.
Geffen. There it is. I was supposed to go to Geffen.
Geffen.
Right.
But
yeah, that's why I texted you.
Yeah. I didn't ended up not going to Geffen, and I just. But let me tell you how dope Raucous was. They were like, the label's folding.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay us back any of the money we gave you.
Wow.
You can have your songs. Yeah, they were just great. And they were like, even they were giving me like a monthly thing.
Right.
Because they didn't want to give you, you know, like when you sign, sometimes they give you all the money. So Raucous was more like a parent in a way, because they were like, no, we're going to give you monthly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for the next 2 years, even after the label folded, they still paid me all my money.
Wow. Message. Love that. Shout out to Raucous.
Shout out. Message. Who was the president at that time?
Brian and Jarrett. Yeah. Brian and Jarrett. There were two. Yeah.
Oh, good shit. Good job, man.
Yeah, they were awesome.
So I was gonna say, what happened after that, though, right? Like, what was the big breakthrough? Because I would imagine you'd be deflated, right? Like, I'm on Sylvia Rome's label. I get off there. I'm on Raucous. I'm doing the right things, but there's things out of my control. So, what was that one moment for you where you felt like, what was the mama I made it moment for you?
I still don't feel like I made it yet.
Okay. That's what some people. A lot of people say that. You'd be surprised.
You know, even when the Sylvia Rome's situation didn't work out, I kind of like, I was sad. I was like crying, and my dad was like, Ayanna, this is like a first wrong that has happened or whatever. He was like, go after something else, keep going, you know. So I developed that feeling that it's okay to fail something. Maybe something's not going to work out. Keep going, go to the next thing. Right now I'm independent, so I mean, it feels great, but it's a struggle.
It's tough. It's tough being independent.
But I love it. I love the journey. And some days you feel like, hey, I'm doing what I need to do, and then some days you're like, oh my God, you know. So
we feel it. We feel it.
What have you ever thought about? Not only doing your own music, but writing for others as a career? Because a lot of people find their way in through the producer side and writing and like that, and then become a bigger artist because now they've developed so many different relationships writing wise. Now your catalog is crazy. Now when you negotiate I wrote this, I wrote that. Did you ever think about using that as an avenue?
Yeah, and then people had asked me, but in the beginning, I never really liked writing that much.
Okay.
You know, so I didn't see myself sitting in a room writing for someone else. I'm like, oh, what am I going to write now? You know, I never really loved it. And then, but I love writing from experience.
Okay.
If I feel something. But feeling forced to be in a room, you know, like you get a deal to write 10 songs and you got to knock them out. I was like, I don't think I'm that kind of writer. But I think it would have been great though. You know, that was something maybe I should have done, because you definitely make more money doing that.
You make a lot.
Yeah.
What's up with the Patti LaBelle story?
Oh yeah.
Patti LaBelle.
What's up with that?
So I was doing a concert and I needed a conga player. His name is Bobby Allende. So a friend of mine introduced me to him. He was Mark Anthony's conga player. And I said to him, I was singing, I think he heard me sing If Only You Knew. And he goes, my friend works with Patti LaBelle.
Right.
So his friend was Michael Bearden. Michael Bearden, Michael Bearden, he was in This Is It. So, so he called me after he heard my demo of If Only You Knew. He called me right away. He goes, I'm with Patti right now. So he had Patti LaBelle like call me. They were like at dinner or something, and she called me. She goes, "Hey, honey," and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I used to listen to Patti like nonstop in my room, like screaming her songs like to the top of my lungs. I never thought I would meet Patti LaBelle. Right? Hey, honey, you want to come sing backgrounds with me? She's like, I'm coming to New York and this weekend, and I was like, okay. They gave me like 15 songs to learn. Backgrounds too. I've never sung backgrounds before in my life. Yeah, and then I go to the rehearsal and I'm like, oh, this isn't real. You know what I mean? She wasn't in the room yet, and I'm like, okay. And she walked in like a true diva, like decked out, like
the aura,
these are like, these are the true stars. Like when they walk in, it doesn't matter that they go into the store or to the rehearsal. Like she came in like, and I was just like.
I don't think anybody's not starstruck when Patti LaBelle. Yeah. Being honest with you, like the queen walk in the room, you bow down.
Oh, she definitely has a presence.
Absolutely.
And she said, "Hi, honey," and she says, "You know what?" She said, "I'm going to help you."
Wow.
That's what she said to me.
Ooh. I'm going to say this. It sounds like your life. If you listen to her stories, it sounds like you've been getting a lot of blessings throughout your life. Somebody is guiding you. Yeah. I just want to tell you that, right? I don't know if you. Because when you live it, it's different than when you say it to other people. Like we can hear it first. Like, what are you talking?
Yeah.
Think about the things that you've said to us, like how your career started, how you got a deal, people just vouching for you in the moment, people meeting you and taking immediately to you and believing that you're being guided to something. I'm just telling you, right?
Yeah.
I don't go
that
to church.
Goosebumps.
My cousin talks about positive affirmations all the time, about speaking things into existence and just understanding I'm a spiritual person. I believe in like true spirituality energy, right? Something is guiding you, telling you like you are on the right path. Don't stop, right? Because every time something happens, there's kind of like a movement to keep you where you need to be, right?
So true,
right? Yeah. So I'm just telling you, I think that something is guiding you, and you have yet to reach where you are supposed to go. I think that you got to just stay the course and just keep living in your truth and keep fighting the good fight, man. Because I think that you something special, man. That's about to happen really soon for you. So, what before we get out of here, if you could project right now, like right now, right now, like huh? You gotta finish the patties. Okay, good.
Oh, where was I?
So she said she's gonna help me.
And then I ended up going on tour with her.
Oh wow.
And Patti would call me up. So I'd be singing backgrounds with her. And then she'll call me up on stage and she'll give me her mic. She'll introduce me to the crowd. And she said, I'm gonna let her sing my song when If Only You Knew came on.
Right.
I'm not gonna sing the song tonight. She's gonna sing it.
Wow.
Yeah. She would do things like she'll fix my hair. She was like, we got it. This is the future. We gotta, and she used to just teach me how to be on stage and just, it was such a
that's mentorship. That's just not mentorship. That's sponsorship. That's and like not just guiding you, but putting you in the places where like you can take, like you have what it takes, and she's giving you that platform to do it.
Yes.
So amazing. I want to ask, because I know he got a question, but I want to get one in, because I like to say, right, you should never pour from your cup. You should pour from your saucer. You're supposed to fill yourself up. Whatever runs over into the saucer, that's what you're supposed to pour into others.
Right.
I would love if you can pour from your saucer into cups of the young people in the music industry who are up and coming, right? Having those moments like you, those ups and downs. What's something you can share with them to keep going? Something.
Well, keep God first. I would say having God in my life, I feel that has kept me from a lot of things I shouldn't be involved with. Whoever your God is, just be spiritual. Have someone that you believe in, someone that, you can pray, someone that you pray to, whoever that person is, because, everyone has their different religions. Try to find good people with good character. You see the red flags when you meet people.
Facts.
We ignore them, right?
All
but if you keep God first, he will show you the different characters. You're gonna fail at things. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna make mistakes. You look back and you say, "Man, I should have done this." don't have any regrets. Just learn from your mistakes and do better next time. You know what I mean? Try not to burn any bridges. Never take things personal. It's just business. Really, you know, you can get mad at someone. Oh, they did this to me. They did that to me, but it's just business. You know, don't take anything personal and don't give up. If you believe like in yourself, keep going, because sometimes the people that are deterring you and telling you, oh, that's not hot, they don't know.
They don't know.
You may be the first to do whatever it is you're doing. So keep doing that and believe in it. And like that's it.
And be willing to do anything for it. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know about anything. I don't know about anything. I said the same thing. First of all, it's my fucking episode. Let me talk. You shut up. You shut up, nigga. Let a nigga talk. You been going like this. It's my episode, nigga. Nigga, what I'm saying, you gotta do everything for it, right? Anything, right? What we do is anything for it. Nigga, we wake up in the morning, we fucking learn these chords, we learn these things, we meet people like Dave, we put in the work, we put in the grind. So a lot of people ain't gonna be wanting to do anything for it. Are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to wear the same jeans 4 fucking times in a row and come to a spot? Are you willing to put your own money up for it?
Right. Yeah.
This is the type of passion you gotta have for this shit. This is the type of passion. So when she's saying that, like she's saying it in a way like, yo, you know, but you know what she's not telling you what she's going through. That's real talk. No, and I'm saying that as an entrepreneur.
Right. I don't talk about
this because it's
the
real.
Negatives. Yeah.
There is no negative.
Because you just gotta learn from it.
There is no negative.
You don't research and development.
That's it. There is no negative. There's no failure.
Right.
You listen.
Because if you do that, that's how you become bitter. And once you become bitter, you know, it's kind of hard to get away from that. So if you just go, okay, that happened, I'm gonna try something else, you know. It's not easy. Yeah. I know it sounds like I'm making it easy.
No,
yeah, everything's not on the up and up all the time. But one thing I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna dwell on the negatives.
Gotta keep going. Banana bread.
I like banana bread.
No, I do.
Oh, you do?
I love
banana bread. Oh, I was gonna say the bananas.
If I knew it was your birthday, I would have brought you a banana bread. No, because I have my banana bread business.
I said when we pull up on the 30th, King, you know what I mean? Just make sure. 30th, King, I'm alone.
Yep.
We pulling up.
So before we get out of here, like I said, we just wanted you to manifest right now on the show. If you could just manifest something right now, what's the goal? Where do we want to be in the next 2-3 years? Where are we gonna be? What is it? Like, say it right now. In the next 2-3 years, this is what I'm gonna be doing. This is where I'm gonna be at. Like, let's hear it right now. Manifest it right now.
For one, I'm gonna be traveling the world.
Okay,
I'm gonna be performing on the biggest stages ever.
Okay,
yeah,
all over the world. I'm also gonna I'm gonna own a lot of my own my publishing. I'm gonna own my stuff. You know, I'm gonna be the boss of my, you know, whatever I'm doing. I'm gonna have my banana bread business. It's gonna be.
I like that. Yo, what's up with that?
My banana business is gonna take off. It's healthy, dairy free.
God, can we get some banana bread in here? We got you. We're gonna work with God. God is gonna get the banana bread. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? God, can we get them? You know what I mean? With a little honey and a bowl.
My store is gonna be all over.
I love it, man. I love it. So there's gonna be a lot of people that listen to this show that want to get in contact with you, that want to follow your journey. Let the listeners know and the viewers know, like, what's the best way to get in contact with you? What's the best way to connect with you, find your music, etc.
Okay, so you can always reach me at book AyannaIrish@gmail.com. Book AYANNAIRISH@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram, Ayanna Irish Official. I'm on Facebook, Ayanna Irish. Yeah, you can. I'm not too hard to find.
There it is.
June 30th, City Winery, man. Make sure you pull up. We are pulling up. Make sure you pull up, support this queen, man. She's super dope. And, you know, just congrats for everything that you've done, man. Like, we really appreciate you pulling up, and it's an honor, for real.
Thank you.
What's only you knew.
Right.
They do karaoke's when Thursdays. We might have to do a special karaoke now.
Let's do it.
Y'all heard it here first on More Than the Title.
Yeah.
She gonna be big. We gonna run this clip back when this all comes true, because it's gonna
happen.
And thanks to Dave Huey.
Shout out to Dave, man.
Dave.
Shout out to Dave.
You know, Cuzzo, before we get out of here, you know, we gotta welcome her to the family, probably.
Let's do it. So, you know, welcome to the More Than the Title family. So, you know what that means, sis? What that entails is that you have access to everybody we've spoken to before you and after you. You're part of the family. We don't do gatekeeping. Correct. So if there's anybody that you've seen, we've had Dr. Matthew Knowles on the show. We about to have the CEO Versus come on. We got DJ Sus one on Tuesday. Like, so anybody that we can do or help you introduce, we'll get you on a Zoom call with boom, A, B, this is B, this is A, and we get off the call. We just want to see you win.
Oh,
so that's what it is. So you come here, you rock with our platform, you gave us your story, it's vulnerable. That's our way of showing love and giving you, giving your flowers back. And we're gonna be there on the 30th. If there's any way we can support, we here. So we part of the family. Welcome to the morning.
You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Nadege already said the word amazing. Normally we say phenomenal, phenomenal, amazing. She told you about the story that we was about to have. So this young lady came on the show and told you where she started her journey, how early she started her journey. One of the key takeaways is the fact that she kept going. She tried different things and she wasn't afraid to keep pushing, right? Yep. She even left her country and came to a new country and kept going, right? Once again, starting somewhere new is different. It's difficult, right? You're leaving your family, you're starting in a whole different environment and everything, right? She told you, like, yo, I've seen a damn body. Yeah. That's great because the psychological trauma that can have on a child can be very negative. But she somehow stayed positive. She had a great support system and she kept pushing, right? She got her deals and she got her education. Yeah. Key education. And she aligned herself with the right people to help her not only, do her deals, but further her education so that she would be put in a better position. So, I mean, you know what it is, how we end off the show every time. She told you her hustle was crazy. She told you that my voice is crazy. Jarrett's voice is crazy. We might have a more than a title. Sing with me, cousin. It's your birthday. We are trying. Right. Okay, we get a little vocals before we end. Hold on, before we end. Go ahead.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jarrett. Yeah. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah. Like we say, man, the dream is free.
But the hustle is so separately.
You know what it is.
What you know about me? Seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me? I've done it all, just one.